series, you talked about putting a lineup out there that you were hoping Dwayne would either match or do something different, and then you ended up not doing what you thought, and then you had to reverse. What is typically your philosophy? Do you like to put out a lineup and kind of impose your will on the other team, or is it always on a case-by-case basis as to what you want to put out there?
Just try to see how the series is going, and sometimes you got to play chicken, to see if the other team will adjust to you, and that's what's a game. It's just what it's a game of, just playing, matchups and what teams are doing, and see if they'll try to adjust to you, and see if you can kind of get what you want out of the substitution. So that's basically all it is.
So in game ones, is that typically kind of what usually happens? That you throw something out there and see what
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
I don't know if you're aware of this, but Brad Stevens is a great coach.
So what?
Brad Stevens is a great coach.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Do you, in any matchup, do you look at that as coach versus coach? Do you feel like you're going in to have to try to match him or beat him or out-coach him, anything like that?
No.
What makes you a good coach?
Who said I'm a good coach?
Well, you got a chip.
Had great players.
What makes him good?
I don't know. His system, you can plug guys in and, it keeps going no matter who's playing. I think what he did for Isaiah, in Isaiah's career, and making him a second-team All-NBA player, and, he gets the most out of his guys. I think he has a lot of young guys that he can kind of mold and fit to his system and what he wants, and he does a good job of that.
What you do in the regular season is for now. There's almost everything you do in the regular season trying to build towards what you do. The playoffs, late round playoffs.
You always want to, the main thing is trying to get to the playoffs healthy. That's number one. Number two is just, start hitting your stride at the right time. I think start playing well at the right time. And I think when I went down, I thought Larry Drew did a great job of keeping us afloat and getting these guys to respond to what he's doing. And, LD did a great job. So I think toward the end of the season and going into the playoffs, we was playing some of our best basketball. I think last series we kind of caught a groove defensively and offensively. And we just got to continue to just keep getting better.
All NBA coaches are under pressure to win. But since you were on the staff there, how different is it in Boston because of the championships that, the success that they've had? Does that make it any different?
No, it doesn't. Because Doc won in 2008, but before that, it was a long time before they had won. So it's not like they was winning every 2 or 3 years, and so that's when the pressure comes along. But it's been so far in between that it really doesn't matter. But they've had great coaches. Like you said, Doc was there. Now, Brad is doing an amazing job. So it's good coaching for good history franchise.
When we hear that phrase that he puts his guys in the best position to succeed, what does that mean exactly?
I just think, with his system, you can plug guys in. They're going to run it hard. They're going to run it the right way. Guys are going to be in the right spots and right positions. And he's putting you in position to be successful. And I think that's what he does a great job of. So, with a great player like Kyrie going down, you plug in Rozier, he's going to be productive. With Hayward going down, you plug in Tatum and Brown, and, they're going to play well, So Smart goes down, you plug in Larkin. So they just kind of continue to plug in guys, and with his system, if you're in the right spots and the right places, you run it with pace and speed, you're going to be productive. I didn't have a vote because I think LD voted because I was sick. That's when I was, so they said you only had one vote, I think. So, Brad's an amazing coach, but there's a lot of other coaches who did a great job as well. So it's kind of like, LeBron or Michael Jordan or Shaq, they can win MVP every year, but, this year we had some coaches who stepped up and did a great job. And, Nate McMillan, they're supposed to be last in the East. He did a great job. They were, fifth? Yeah, fifth. Casey, number one in the East. I thought Terry Stotts did a great job. D'Antoni, again with Houston, what they've been doing. Steve Kerr every year. Brad Stevens with the injuries and plugging in guys, so it's a list of guys that, did a great job. And he's like one of those guys like LeBron. He can win it every year, but this year some coaches did some amazing things. And, that's why Casey won.
If you had a vote, how would you sum up what it is that matters most to you in that situation?
I think what matters most is what you do with your team. I think coming into the season, the expectations of your team, what they're supposed to be. And, when Indiana traded Paul George, they said it's going to be last in the East. And I thought Nate did a great job. I thought Casey, coming into it, been 2-3, the last couple of years, but to finish first and have the second best record in the NBA, that's big. I thought Stotts, what he did in Portland, lost Aldridge a couple of years ago, but, to finish third, I think, Quinn Snyder, finishing fifth, so, it's some coaches did a great job this year, so I think that's why, those guys were rewarded more than, Brad Stevens and D'Antoni and Steve Kerr, because they had an extraordinary season.
You mentioned your goal of wanting this team to be at its best when the postseason arrives. How do you make sure that happens?
I think, throughout the course of the season, you got to do things, you got to try things, and it's funny that Dan Gilbert told me that probably, I think, a month or two into the season, like, you got to try new things. Like, who cares? Like, in business, you got to try new things. If it works, you're a genius. If not, you can change and do something else. So I just think you got to try things and kind of see how your team reacts to it. And I think having a different team and different guys and different pieces, we're trying new things defensively, offensively, just kind of see what works for our team. And when we get to the playoffs, we should have a good understanding of what our team is and, how we should be.
Given all the changes throughout the season?
It was tough, but, we adjusted. I think our coaching staff's done a great job. I think the players have done a great job just adjusting and understanding what we want to do. And so I would say more so the players have been great.
Said that? Was it something like permission to fail or failing to win? Like,
remember, I'll get it for you. I'll look through the text message. Yeah.
How do you feel about tomorrow?
As far as what?
Just your guys being ready in game one. And
good. I feel good.
In a game one like this, in a hostile environment, what's the most important thing? Like, how do you handle it?
I think getting off to a good start, trying to take the crowd out of the game early, because it's going to be electric. But I just think playing well early, trying to take the crowd out of the game is going to be the most important.
Ty, do you think this team maybe kind of enjoys, to a part, opening the series on the road and the opportunity to steal one or two games here before coming home?
I think so. I think LeBron said a long time ago, it don't matter what seed I am, but if I'm coming to your game, to your arena game one, it's going to be something. So hopefully that carries over to game one tomorrow. So we're pretty excited, and it's going to be a good series. Like I said, they're well coached. They have a good team. Have a lot of guys, Al Horford, perennial all-star, Tatum and Brown, 2 top 3 picks, Smart, top 6 picks. So they got some good players, some good young players, good young talent. So they're going to be hungry. They're going to be excited. They're going to play well and play hard.
George Hill, was he excused today?
Yes.
Graduation.
Yeah.
He's going to meet you guys in Boston.
Yeah.